up, you guys? It's Martine, and today we're going to be talking about all my current works in progress. So I'm not working on all of these at once. In fact, right now I'm not working on any of these. That being said, these are my main projects. There are projects in the past that I've written the first draft of, realized this was a mistake, and have totally thrown out. They are out of my mind. We are past that point in our lives. These are only projects that I am sticking with as of right now. Kate Kavanaugh recently made a video about all her projects and where they are at different stages. I'm not going to be making a helpful graph like she did in her notebook, but I will walk you through everything. And I did want to make this video before I made any other writing related content, just to make things clear. Currently there are 5.5-ish main projects from my lifetime. The first one is Project Cal. Project Cal, otherwise known as just Cal, since I've written it. I'm really bad at titles, if you couldn't tell from me just naming it Project something, which was another idea I got from Kate Kavanaugh, so thanks, Kate. It's a YA contemporary, a very dark one, probably the darkest out of all of the contemporaries I write, although they all have their dark elements, let's be honest with ourselves, but it's still a YA contemporary. This was the first book that I ever finished writing a full draft of, so it was a big moment in my life. I wrote it in 8th grade, finished it in April of 8th grade, and wrote the whole thing by hand with pen and paper. I went through like 4 pens and 2 whole journals. I ended up writing the second draft and transferring it to the computer that summer between 8th and 9th grade. And then I'm pretty sure I did a third draft at some point. The second main project is Project ASL, which is another YA contemporary. I wrote the first draft of Project ASL in the summer between 9th and 10th grade. This was the first manuscript that I ended up keeping that I wrote fully on the computer. And I just recently finished up rewriting the whole thing. I call it a second draft, but I literally kept pretty much nothing but the characters and the general gist of the whole. The third was Project Boyband, yet another YA contemporary. I clearly have a genre. I wrote Project Boyband during the second half of my senior year of high school, and I haven't touched it since. I did read like 5 chapters of it this past spring, but then I did nothing with that. Next, we have Project Boy Next Door, another YA contemporary. I wrote Project Boy Next Door my first semester at college. It had nothing to do with college or going to college. It was just randomly what I wanted to write there. First semester, before I had too much to do. And next we're going to move into the kind of halves projects and then the other ideas. Project Legerdemain started as an idea in my head in 10th grade. And this is where that weird slump happens between Project ASL and Project Boyband. Because I have a whole journal full of ideas and 5 Pinterest boards for this story, and yet, have I written the full thing? No. Have I gotten close to writing the whole thing? Actually, yes. I've had a couple stints trying to write this book. The reason it hasn't worked out is because it's not a YA contemporary. It's actually a dystopian fantasy. Really random with my track record. I have a love-hate relationship with this story. I know that in my mind it's this amazing thing, but I've never successfully written it. There are 2 main occasions where I really tried to write this book. Once I got 10,000 words in, and then I stopped. Then this past April for Camp NaNoWriMo, I tried to write it again. I didn't use the 10,000 words because I had totally re-outlined it. I ended up writing 30,000 words, or approximately half of it, and then April ended, and I stopped. To be fair to myself, it was final season, and we were in the midst of a pandemic, and everything was crazy. My motivation was at an all-time low. And then what I would consider my other main project in my life is Project Boarding School, because I started having the idea for this book this past fall. It has evolved. Originally, it was just going to be a YA contemporary, but set at a boarding school. But I thought, no, that's not interesting enough. And also, I took a monsters and fiction class. So now I'm pretty sure it's going to be a paranormal mystery thriller type thing. Have I written it? No. But does it have more ideas than the other ideas that I have? Yes. Because my problem when I write books is that I come up with characters pretty easily. The only exception being Project Boarding School, in which I had this view of a place, not people. But even then the characters came kind of easily and I just had to figure out a plot. There's the issue though, I never think of a plot and then find characters for the plot. It's always just characters first. So I have lots of character ideas, even duos like best friends or people who would be in a romance in the books, but I haven't written any portion of them. That being said, these are characters that I'd like to return to in the future and find a plot for. But that'll be it for me today for this writing video. Those are all my main projects. and I hope to work on one of them soon.